Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung traditional land for the iceHQ Ducks exhibition game against the Adelaide Rush. It's game 1 of 2. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me tonight is Anton Goss. Gossy, tonight is the third exhibition set of games. This time we welcome the Adelaide Rush to the Duck Pond. We're enormously privileged to have them come over here and give us a trial and see how we go. And we're massively looking forward to seeing them. They are currently second on the ladder in the AWIHL, and we're hoping to see our Ducks put up a good tussle against them and both teams to give us a really good show this evening. The Rush are coached by Joey McDougall, and last time we saw him here, Gossy, was under slightly different circumstances. It was about 2 years ago, and it was a grand final series against another Melbourne Ducks team, but that time it was the boys.
I think I vaguely recall handing him a trophy.
Handing him a big trophy, absolutely.
That he got to go celebrate with the rest of his mates. So he's here, joined as well by, I think, MVP of the playoff series, Jeremy Friedrich, the goaltender for the Adelaide Rush. So a couple familiar faces, used to seeing the Melbourne Ducks jerseys, but us Melbourne fans are going to hope for a little bit of a different result against those two.
Well, absolutely, but they put on a great show, and I don't know if you're being a Canadian, you might not be aware of the intensity of the sporting rivalry between South Australia and Victoria in a lot of cases, in particular in the Australian rules football, which is clearly not your thing being a goalie. You actually have to kick the thing. Hang on, goalies do that. But anyway, so the rivalry between the two states is intense. Now, we do wish our South Australian people who are listening in today and watching the live stream the absolute best of luck, and we're enormously privileged to have your ladies come over here and play against our Melbourne Ducks. This game means an awful lot to us over here. It's a really good chance for our girls to show the AWIHL that there is room in Victoria for two teams. There's enough talent to make it happen. And if we look at what happened over the last few games, does he take us back through the first series against the Melbourne Ice?
Well, I think it's a really exciting time. I mean, obviously, third team that the Ducks are getting to play, and they started off against the Melbourne Ice. Now, one caveat to remember is each of these AWIHL teams do have a list of import players that they're able to bring in, whereas our Melbourne Ducks here are just local Melburnians for the most part from Victoria playing. But that first series going up against the Melbourne Ice, they're favored to win the AWIHL. And, I think it was a little bit of a shock to the system of the Melbourne Ducks. It was a first game, I think 5 goals in the first period. They really got to understand.
It was 5 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, first 5 minutes. And I remember Coach Jeremy Muir just taking a timeout and settling the girls down, and from there we started to see a lot more hockey. They did lose both those games. It was 15-0 the first, 14-0 the second. But
it doesn't really reflect the way the game went. There were flurries of the game where it was pretty even for quite a long time, and then occasionally the Ducks would just fall apart and have a bit of a lapse and let in a lot of gaps, a lot of goals in short succession. But then the second series came around, Gossy, and that was a really exciting one. That was the Sydney Sirens came down here to play against us. And in the first game, a pretty similar result. They had an import superstar who had a fairly good day out, you might say.
Yeah.
But in the second game, things changed a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, well, that first game, as you mentioned, the Ducks were able to score. I still remember it, a great pass by Captain Lucy Parrington over to Broward Johnson. They actually led that game 1-0, but again, a couple quick goals, blew that game out. But that second match, it seemed to be all Ducks. They were forechecking hard, playing a good defensive game, and backstopped by their goaltender as well, Jade Davis-Tope, who had a sparkling .974 save percentage in that game as the Ducks won their first ever match 2-1.
And it blew the roof off the barn here, I can tell you that for free. There were repairs that had to be done to the ceiling after that one. But the big changes that were made for that game, the Ducks strengthened up their defence in particular. The addition of one key player in particular there, Sarah Sparrow. She made such a massive difference to the defensive play. And not to also discount that there was a big difference too made when... I'm sorry. She's going to kill me. Tanya Crawley, but not only Crawley as a very effective centre, but Georgia Carson, her experience and her vision for the game. She's an absolute master of just being in the right place at the right time, and she did that superbly well. And that made such a difference to this Ducks team, because they'd been able to score goals. They scored 4 on the first day, which was pretty good, but they weren't keeping them out. And on Sunday, they kept the Sydney Sirens down to just the 1. And that made the difference as a 1-2 victory. So for them, that was a pretty good turnaround from what looked initially like it was going to be another very rude awakening baptism of fire. But getting that win was unexpected, but certainly very good for the confidence of the Melbourne Ducks. But I think we've got to talk a lot about the Adelaide Rush here team. They've had a great season so far. They're currently second on the ladder, absolutely spearheaded by Caitlin Malthana. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is her 4th season. She scored 9 goals and 21 points this season for the Adelaide Rush. And a real breakout season for her. Prior to that, she'd, I think...
Yeah, they just split.
Hadn't really started to sparkle till this season, but wow.
They just split the series in Melbourne last week with the Melbourne Ice. And, speaking of that first game against, the team that everyone's expecting to win, this is the challenger, Adelaide Rush. So looking to see how the Melbourne Ducks have fared over the course of the period against another, great opponent. Is going to be interesting to see their development.
Oh, absolutely. I think the big thing for the Ducks is the improvement that they've made throughout this series. First games were pretty heartbreaking for some of them, although it was a necessary sort of introduction to what was going to go on. But this particular game is going to be a great test for them, and we will see how it all goes. We'll get the ceremonies underway. It's just about time to get some hockey happening here. Gossie, I'm really looking forward to seeing too how Shana Godfrey goes. She is ex-Sirens, but moved down to Melbourne, and she now manages the CCM Pro Shop here at iceHQ, and a superb playmaker. She did score a number of goals in those 2 games against the, in the 1 game I think she played against the Sydney Sirens.
Yeah, she's
a superb playmaker.
Yeah, 3 goals in that last exhibition series, but also the 3 assists from Lucy Parrington. So we see those veteran players for the Ducks. They're getting on the score sheet. But one of the players that I love watching, and I mean she has such a bright future for this club,
Tanya
is
Crawley,
Briar.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Briar Johnson, young kid, young woman, and she's very poised. We've interviewed her a few times. The way she speaks, unreal, and she's been on the score sheet. She famously has the first ever goal for the Melbourne Ducks. She backed that up with an assist in the second game, so sitting with a goal and assist. Really interested to seeing how she breaks out some more, because we've seen her. I remember a couple, might have been 18 months ago, not even, seeing her in the junior league that we had here at iceHQ. I was doing the announcing for the final series, and I got to see her play against 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and now seeing her play at the highest level, really, really exciting to see young Briar.
Also, looking forward to seeing how Tanya Crawley grows again. Last time she played, she won just about every single face-off she did. She's all of 4 foot nothing tall. She's tiny, but and about 45 kilos, wringing wet. Well, but I tell you what, she's got the fastest hands I've seen in a long time. She can win a face-off just about whenever you need them, and we know how important that can be. So we're about to get underway.
The stage is set. This Adelaide team comes in to showcase why they deserve to be second in the nation for women's hockey, but this Melbourne Ducks team believes they can get something from it. So here we are, Adelaide Rush with a shot, scores! Just like that, in a matter of seconds, Regan Petrosky, the American, snipes one right over the glove hand of Jade Davis-Tope, and 8 seconds in, the Rush are up to 1-0 lead.
That's not the start the Ducks would have wanted, but a great move there. See, Georgia Carson was just caught up high, and they're moving back onto the move was first Petrosky, and she saw that she had Liam Gallagher beat and got just shot over her shoulder. And unfortunately, not much that Jade Davis-Tope could do about that one, but we're underway again.
So there we go, 1-0 rush to the first goal there for Adelaide by the import, but the puck's on the stick of Sparrow now. A battle there in the neutral zone, just shoveled forward by Krulak. Dumped in past the net, icing waved off, and Sparrow's going to get there first for the Ducks. It's now on the stick of Krulak, who all she can do is dump that down, and it will go for icing.
If you're not familiar with the rule for icing, if you fire the puck down from behind the centre line, and it crosses the goal line at the other end without anyone touching it, it's brought back for a defensive zone face-off, and you're not allowed to change. So the Ducks stuck on the ice. It was only a very short shift, so I don't think that'll matter terribly much. Other thing to be aware of, a defensive zone face-off is a great counter-attacking opportunity. You can see the Rush's D pinching right in close if the Ducks get behind them.
So face-off won by the Rush. It's there on the half wall, chipped back behind the net. Nice job by Bedell, just tied up there by the captain, Lucy Parrington. It's Sharna Godfrey who takes a tumble, which allows Bedell for the Rush to collect it. Behind the net, being watched, centered, and a shot on save there by Davis Tope as Sparrow just shoved that under the glove as they want to change here. So first couple saves, you can see this on the CCM all-out replay. A great centering pass, and Jade Davis Tope able to just get her glove on it and cover up.
Sparrow doing the right thing there, just pushing it back safely so that Jade could sort that one out.
So face-off won by Crawley, so the face-off watch is on. She's 1 for 1. Let's see how many in a row she can go this week. But I'm here on a battle on the far side half wall. It's with the Rush, but chipped out, but not past the net, past the blue line. A kick save there by Davis Tope, and Heather Ryland just chips that over to Briar Johnson. I called her as one of the players to watch, and she gets stopped up, and the Rush force the Ducks back.
Good forechecking there by Madeline Lingvren.
It's back here to Vrenning. Wines takes the shot off the leg of Tran, and that was coming forward was Moroniak, and now here come the Melbourne Ducks. Stopped up at the blue line. Tanya Crawley has it. She looked to go back to her D, but it was stolen here by Marinac. She walks into the slot area, still has it, takes a shot, but off the side netting, but collects her own rebound. Wrapped out in front, it's loose there, but first to it is going to be Tanya Crawley. Crawley over to the half wall, intercepted there by the Rush. Couple players take a tumble. It's Briar Johnson on top of the Rush player, but no penalty. Referee was right there. Pinching now is Malthiner. She's the leading scorer of the Adelaide Rush, and she's pinned up by Amelia Stringer. Rush behind the net, centers it, comes back to the point there for Glass. Glass sends it back, and the Rush trying to center that. It just got intercepted by Amanda Blondin, and now out of the zone.
For a long time. They really should be getting a change about now. They've been on the ice for a long shift.
So here the Rush are again. It's Tiamina there, stopped up well, but intercepted by Chashovsky. She got the first goal. It's centered there and just put wide by Tinema. The Rush adding the pressure. The Ducks really not able to get much possession so far, 3 minutes into the first period. Walking out from the side, a shot there by Tahima. The puck's loose in the slot, but collected by Stringer. She's not able to get it far out, and it's going to be stopped up at the blue line here. Nice job there by Braun Cashin. Fan favorite is she streams out and can't get the puck deep. Jakowicz, though, off the bench, does get it up to Cashin, but it's stolen now by Tihama, who comes into the offensive zone. Over to Petrovsky with a shot. Kick save there by Davis Tope, goes into the corner.
Davis Tope's found her rhythm in the net. She's made a couple of important saves in the last minute or two, and she's needed to.
So Petrovsky, the American, with the puck on her stick, stolen by Bronwyn Cashin as she shovels that up, and that's intercepted. A bouncing puck goes behind the net. Niamh Gallagher, the one they call Nugget, just sends that forward to Jakowicz. Jakowicz evades the pinch, and the Ducks can get out now with the puck on her stick as Bronwyn Cashin trying to get it to the forehand, but nice stick defensive play there by the Rush defender.
They rushed back in numbers. There was
Jakowicz with a shot there, and it's deflected into the corner.
Good back checking by the Adelaide Rush, making sure that the Ducks had no room to move.
So Cashin keeps it in, looked to get one on target, but that just went wide. It's going to be collected by Regan Petrovsky, who got that first goal, chipped it forward, and she goes in for a skate. Great job there by Sparrow, able to get it up to the captain, and here comes Lucy Parrington. A nice move to evade one defender. Wines takes a shot, and that bounced right off the blocking arm and into the corner as Parrington collected her own rebound. She looked to center it there for Godfrey, but that missed her, and just skating past it is the Rush, and Sharna Godfrey now with it on her stick, but couldn't hit the target. collected by Krulak. It's behind the net now, stolen by Parrington. A nice move, gets it to the back end, over to Krulak, and out there to stop the puck was the Rush goaltender, Knott, who made a great save.
Godfrey still sustaining the pressure. It's the first bit of real attacking pressure that the Ducks have been able to put on.
Sorry, that was Smith in the net. Madison Smith in net here for the Adelaide Rush. So the puck's in the defensive zone here for the Ducks, sent up here to Sharna Godfrey. She just chips that high on net, looking for a little bouncer on target, and Smith is going to leave that for her defenseman.
Gives the Ducks an opportunity to get a change. Crawley's line on.
Puck's here in the neutral zone, battling with it is Moroniak for the Adelaide Rush, as well as the Ducks player, and it just chips down into the zone for Chen to collect there for the Rush. She goes D to D. Briar Johnson intercepts that one, being watched heavily by Moroniak, and the puck comes into the neutral zone, but picked up here by the Rush. So here comes Moroniak, leading point scorer, and sent now the other way.
This puck there stolen nicely by Heather Island.
So puck's deep in the Adelaide zone. We're starting to see a little bit more back and forth play. The Ducks getting some scoring opportunities after letting in a goal on the first 8 seconds of the game. Puck's deep in Adelaide offensive territory now as Stringer has it for the Ducks, and she is able to regain that one, and it's now on the stick of Briar Johnson. Off the bench for the Rush is Tahima, who's been all over it this period as she looks to get in on the action. Pushed forward, it's the Adelaide Rush looking to center it, but it's going to be stolen there by the Ducks, but tied up well by Kate Tahima as she's able to send that deep into the Duck zone. So Adelaide just looking to wear down the Melbourne team here. Very reminiscent of what we saw in Game 1 of the PWHL Grand Final when the Ducks weren't able to beat the Avalanche. So here they are, shot on, nice save there by Jade Davis-Tope, and that springs the Ducks the other way. It's on the stick of Briar Johnson now, who's just curling away from the Adelaide defense, goes behind the net. First to it will be Adelaide defenseman Wegand, and she's going to look to break out now. Puck sent across. It's picked up here by Tahima. She's got a streaking forward, a bouncing puck in on Davis-Tope, who's down, and she's able to cover up and make sure that Annika Wagun there for the Adelaide Rush wasn't able to pot in an easy rebound.
So Georgia Carson was just caught a little bit up the ice on that one, and that led to that rush. So it's just a little bit of a lapse there with the ice. Sorry, the Rush had a good opportunity, but just didn't quite manage to convert it into the goal they would have liked. And with just under 13 minutes to play, it is the Adelaide Rush 1 and the Ducks 0. And we're having a small break here as something gets discussed. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Are we getting a penalty?
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a penalty against the Rush, and it's going to go to slashing the goaltender, and that's going to go against Annika Wagun. So the Melbourne Ducks down by 1. They've been a little bit more inspired the last few minutes, are going to go to their first power play of the game. So far, they haven't scored on the power play in any of the exhibition series, but they definitely have some opportunity here. So Parrington wins the faceoff over to Krulak, but it was collected by the Rush, and they come on a shorthanded breakaway. It's Bedell in alone, save Davis-Tope, point blank, and now this is going to allow the Ducks to go the other way. It's on the stick of Godfrey in the neutral zone, keeps it away, goes in, nice move, shot wide, and that's misses the net. So Sharna Godfrey does everything but score in that opportunity, and the Ducks now look to keep the Adelaide Rush in their zone, but it is cleared by Langevin down into the Duck zone.
Now the Ducks get a chance to set up their breakout with a little bit less pressure on them after that initial lapse for that first 5 seconds.
So Sharna Godfrey has it on her stick. Last time this happened, she went end to end, but I think this time she's going to feed it off to Sparrow, and she does. Sparrow winds and just offside there.
Just offside, just a smidge, but that's all it takes. So I think Lucy Parrington, they just crossed the blue line before Sparrow got over the line with the puck. And as a result, it's brought back to a face-off just outside the defensive zone for the Rush. It's stop time, so it doesn't really matter from the point of view of running lockdown on the penalty. They've still got just over a minute on the power play of the Ducks.
And Crawley with a face-off 1-2 cleanly That goes all the way down into her zone, but
Fastest
Sparrow,
hands in the business there.
yeah, Sparrow will be able to collect, and it does come out, so all the Rush can do is dump it in and kill off a few more seconds. But here comes Sarah Sparrow. She scored the first goal of that second game last time out against the Sirens to eventually win their first game, the Melbourne Ducks. So there's Sparrow, just sends it down into the corner. Back to Sparrow. Sparrow with a shot, but collected nicely there by the defender, Eleanor Barter, for the Rush. Martiner hard on Sparrow, but she was able to get that puck up to Britt Mendham, who skates in now and takes a shot and a kick save. Rebound was there for Briar Johnson, and Britt Mendham just able to send that over into a open corner for the Rush to easily clear out into the neutral zone. There's 24 seconds remaining on this power play, and the puck's on the stick of Tanya Crawley. She's going to wind up here looking for a pass forward to Briar Johnson, and kept in now here by Blondin. Mendham in the near side corner has a peek. She's got Stringer wide open if she elects to use her, but sticks come in the lane now and just tries to throw that in the center, and it intercepted by the Rush, and that's going to end the power play. So the Rush 1-for-1 on the penalty kill, and they're breaking out through the neutral zone now, and it's on the stick of Glass as she sends that far side. It's now collected by the Rush. Tiinema sent into an open wing. Mendham's going to battle against the Rush forward here, but it will come back to Glass on the point.
Ducks giving the Rush way too much room out there on the point.
Kick save and a rebound opportunity. Shot just high there by Wagund, who came straight out of the box after sitting for two. It's on the stick of Briar Johnson, though. She's able to evade some big, heavy sticks, but wasn't able to collect the puck, and now here come the Rush. Puck's chipped forward. The Ducks able to get it into the neutral zone, and it's now with Braun Cashin looking to cash in for the first of the Ducks game here against the Rush. Cashin turning in the corner, takes it behind the net, does a good job to shield the puck. Head up, looking to center it, but it's intercepted there by Chen as Jasmine Chen skates out with speed. Makes one move and another, winds, and a hell of a defensive play there by Tran, but she's going to go for two or less, but a great job to stop Chen from breaking into the center, which would have been extremely dangerous, and the Adelaide Rush are now going to get their chance on the power play.
The Ducks with their first penalty kill. One thing the Rush are doing particularly well is living up to their name, as we would expect from an Adelaide team. They've got very, very effective counter-attack and a very good aggressive deep forecheck, and that's what we're seeing. It's putting pressure on the Ducks' defence. Occasionally they're getting caught a little high, and as a result the Rush are getting behind them very, very quickly indeed. So the Ducks will need to sort that out, and the Rush can continue to capitalise it until the Ducks do.
Well, the face-off was won by Parrington, but it's now collected by the Rush. It's with Tupper here as she walks the line. She has Tripolini as well if she wants her, but she decides to activate and take it behind. A soft centering pass, and Davis Tope lost that for a minute, but it was collected by Sharna Godfrey. Now she turns on the Jets, shorthanded, winds, shoots, save there, and Smith lost that one, but it was collected there by her teammate, and now freaking out is Tupper. Scores! So just like that, the Saskatoon native Meyer Tupper on the power play breaks down the right side and shoots that one right over the shoulder of Davis Tope, and the Rush now 1-for-1 on the power play, take a 2-0 lead here midway through the first.
I think that's the thing the Ducks really need to be conscious of, is that the Rush are coming with a lot of speed, and if they're allowed to break out going quickly, they're going to get past just about anyone, and we've seen now that they can shoot from quite disadvantageous angles and score goals against the Ducks. So the Rush...
intercepted and breaking shot, and that just goes wide, and collecting her own rebound is Tiinema, who gets it back to the point. A shot blocked there by Tanya Crawley, and that's going to give her an opportunity to break out, but a great back check by Tiinema, able to stop that play for the Ducks. So just under 9 minutes remaining. It is the Rush with a 2-goal lead, outshooting the Ducks 10-5 as well.
It's that rapid counterattack that we've seen so often from Adelaide teams, that they do so incredibly well. And if you're familiar with the odds of the game, if you get a rush, or if the Rush get the rush, then they're going to score lots of goals. It's a great scoring opportunity. You get speed up through the neutral zone, and that's where the Ducks are getting caught out, and they're getting behind them. And that's what the Ducks will need to fix. So the D have to anticipate that a bit earlier and get moving back a little bit quicker. Otherwise, they'll get swamped.
So 5-on-5 hockey here. It's Parrington tying up the puck. Nice job just to kick that away. It bounces forward, but the Rush only able to get it to the point. It's Dixon there who just sent it through to Godfrey. Puck's loose, shot on by Krulak, but a save by Smith as she covers up there on the short side after the Ducks looking to have the lead, have the deficit.
We'll see this on the replay. It was a good piece of play across into the slot. Ducks getting bodies in there and sticks down on the ice ready to pick up on anything, but it's always a bit of a lottery when you put the puck in that position. Sometimes you get a bit of luck. You've got to be there to capitalise on the luck, but that's how it works.
Face-off won there by Godfrey. Activating was Parrington, but just mishandled that, and that's going to turn the Rush the other way. It's on the stick of Bedell here, who just rims that around over to Langevin, who's stopped up there by Dixon, who does a great job to tie up her player, and Sharna Godfrey comes in and just picks up the puck. Backhands that forward. Nice job there by Krulak to send it over to her captain, and Parrington now drops it for Sparrow, and a fluttering puck chips into the near side corner as the Ducks come out with it through Godfrey. Godfrey just a little mispass there. She thought Sparrow would be there, but it missed everyone, and Ducks just forced to regroup in their own zone. Parrington looking to find Krulak. Now she's going to peel off and go for a change.
What the Rush are doing particularly well is we've seen a number of times here when they haven't necessarily been successful at it, but getting those quick breakaways and catching the Ducks up high. So the Ducks will need to anticipate that a little bit more early and get moving on the back check, because that aggressive forecheck and that rapid breakout by the Rush is quite devastating at the moment, although it's only given them 2 goals so far. So not too bad for the Ducks at this point. And we're underway with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 2 goals to 0 lead to the Adelaide Rush.
Here's Petrovsky, who opened the scoring 8 seconds into the game. Nice pass over there looking for Venus, but that's intercepted, and here comes Braun Cashin. She's got it on her forehand, a bouncing puck there, kicked into the corner by Smith. It's looking to center back, but it's intercepted by the Rush, and they spring Petrovsky now. So coming in on the wing, winds, nice little toe drag, gets it on the backhand, shovels it in. It's loose, and Davis Tope is down, but the puck's behind the net. Stolen by Tihima in front to Tupper, who shoots, and she scores! Maya Tupper, her second of the game after a great feed from behind the net by Kate Tihima. And the Rush now have rushed out to a 3-0 lead here with 7 minutes remaining in the first period.
So that was a nice shot. There was a lot of net there available for her. Davis Tope was down and just trying to get back up and get some composure, and the puck just had a bit of eyes on it, and then it went just over Davis Tope's glove hand, and it was quite a beautiful shot there by Tupper. We've seen now that she's got a hell of a shot on her. Can't give her that space in the slot.
So I do make one more mistake. It is actually Amelia Knott that is in net. So not Madison Smith. So I saw the 7. I assumed it was 74, but it's 47. So Amelia Knott is in net there for the Rush. And she actually has an assist this game as well. So everyone loves the goalie offense. Well, you know I do. So sorry for that, Amelia. You're playing a great first period so far.
Puck just rings off the post, but around the back for the Ducks, still stuck in defence, but now they just managed to get it out of the zone. Parrington, no, not Parrington, he's not even on the ice.
Yeah, so that was Briar Johnson just looking to feed that up to Crawley, but it is intercepted by the Rush. Kept in by Crawley, though, but a break here is going to spring the Rush 2-on-2. Fake shot, walked in, and another one, they score! Jamie Lunn, 5 goals, 5 assists so far in the AWIHL season, and she gets her first as the Rush now lead by 4.
You can see there they've got the advantage of 2 players on the Rush coming in, and as a result, Davis Tope has to watch 2. She can't move. She's pinned because she's got to cover 2 players, and then it ends up being a fairly easy shot over her glove hand. She'll need to screw her head back on and forget all them and keep concentrating on the rest of the game. 4 goals now to the Adelaide Rush, none to the Ducks with 6 minutes to play in the first.
Well, we spoke about this a little bit, about the last 2 series, about the first game of the pair and what happens when the first couple goals start going in. And the Ducks seem to be bleeding a little bit now, down by 4. It's 4 goals on 13 shots for the Rush. But the Ducks have had their chances.
Well, the other thing to remember is for the Ducks, this is only the 5th game they've had to been able to play at this level of intensity. They've been training a lot, but that's not the same as actually playing against live opposition.
Definitely, and here comes Sharna Godfrey, though, looking to get their first on the board. Hockey's a fickle sport. It's definitely not over. 4 goals is not a win, especially with so much hockey left to play. But the Ducks are going to have to hope that some bounces go their way for the rest of this game.
And I think they're just going to have to lift the intensity a little bit too. That's what often we've seen, certainly with the first 2 times they've played against new teams, is in the first game they had to adjust to the intensity and speed of the game, and once they did, they improved a lot. So this is, again, a little bit of a baptism of fire for the Ducks at this point. With the intensity of the game that the Rush are playing, we know they're fast.
So here it's with Tihama, who set up that 3rd goal. She wasn't able to find her teammate as it's intercepted by the captain of the Ducks, Lucy Parrington. She curls away from the forechecker, but Wegan does a great job just to leave it there for Tihama. Now the Rush have it. Centered back to the point. Tupper, who's got 2 goals already, winds with another. It hits off a skate and collected there by Blondin and just bounced up to the point. Kept in nicely there by Troppolino. Over to Tihama, who's just going to drop it back to the defender, but she misses it, and the race is on, and Sharna Godfrey's going to get there first. She'll stop up, waiting to look for support. No one goes to the net as she's forced just to try to shovel that on net.
A little bit of a lapse there. Probably would have been a good option there for Jackowitz to charge the net rather than try and look for a drop pass. But it didn't work out for her that time. And we're going to get a penalty on Stringer.
It's going to be going against the Ducks,
Sorry,
and it will
Stringer,
be against
to,
Sarah Sparrow as she just threw her body at the Rush player there and tripped down the Rush. So they're fresh off their 1-for-1 on the power play. The power play goal was their second, and it was Maya Tupper who, with her first of 2, as she scored that one on the Rush.
Which was just after a very enterprising counter-attack by the
Ducks. So Tanya Crawley, quite good on the face-off, not able to win this one, though, and the Rush have it back on the point. Shot on, deflected there, Davis Tope's down, and she pounces out on the rebound to keep that one away from the Rush forward, and I believe that's Jamie Lunn who's on the doorstep.
And a little bit of high spirits as well, a bit of push and shove in the slot. The girls not prepared to just give away that space for free. And there's Sierra Mioniak, who has 8 penalty minutes. And hopefully for her, she won't add to that.
So puck's brought back. It's with Venning again. Sends that over. Shot on and saved. The puck's under the pad as the Rush were trying to dig that out from underneath Davis Tope, but she was able to keep that there for the whistle.
So for the penalty kill at the moment, the Ducks without Sparrow, who is one of their premier defensive players, they're going to miss it here. But Crawley, if she can win this face-off, she doesn't win at that time.
Comes right back there to the Rush. It's with Venning now with a shot on, but that just went wide. Sorry, Barter. It's behind the net for Moroniak, who will now look to send that back to the point, but just kept in just ever so closely by Barter. And the centering pass now intercepted by Carson, and she clears that down the length of the ice to kill off some valuable seconds here on the
thing there. And just getting the puck out of the zone, which is exactly what she needed to do. Force the Rush to go all the way back, run the clock out.
Here's Barter coming through with speed, just mishandles that, but is able to get that over to Bedell. She centers that through to Langevin, but stolen there by Britt Mendham, and Briar Johnson now gets it out, and she'll just shovel that down into the far side corner and kill off some more valuable seconds.
Just over a minute to go on the power play so far for the Rush.
Puck's high in the air. The Rush sent it forward. It's on the stick now of Amber Bedell, but she's got no one with her, and the Ducks are now going to be able to regroup in their zone, and it's on the stick of their captain, Lucy Parrington, who shovels it up to Mendham. Mendham skates in, looks just to get a shot on, but leaves it there for Parrington, and Parrington now has it. So shorthanded, the Ducks having a little bit of offensive play here, and Perro is just going to shovel that down and kill off some more seconds. Only 25 of them left in the power play.
So far for the Ducks, but here come the Rush on the Rush. Just lobbing it in deep, but Jade just tips it off to the side.
So there's Stringer just looking to clear that out. It's collected there by Jasmine Chen. She gives it D to D, sent up now to Wegan, who's got Petrovsky, but Wegan winds, and a great stick check by Lucy Parrington to stop that chance. And the Ducks now back 5-on-5, killing this penalty.
Sparrow was just offside there. She'd come straight on as a rush, and you could see the Adelaide players hustling back because it's a great move to get behind someone, but they were alert to it, and then Sparrow was just on the wrong side of the blue line when she received that pass, and so she was caught offside, and they'll bring it back for a face-off just outside the Ducks' defensive zone with just over 2 minutes to play. The lead 4 goals to the Adelaide Rush.
Puck now on the stick of Krulak, who's out here, hasn't been on the ice for a bit after some penalty trouble. She sends that deep, but intercepted there by the Rush defender, not able to get it out. But they will now. It's skating through is Diana Glass for the Rush. Just tied up there and tried to drop it for her teammate, but it was intercepted. And now Maya Tupper, who's having a great game, 2 goals so far, able to collect. The Rush now have it. It's Wegan trying to keep it away from Sharna Godfrey, but Godfrey able to chip that out of the zone, and the puck just chips back there for Sarah Sparrow. Sparrow looking to give it back to Crawley, but that missed everyone, and she'll get it back and just shovel it further into the offensive zone. Maruniak now tries to get it around Sparrow, but Sparrow separated her from the puck and cleared that, but icing waved off as Bartel has it for the Rush.
Kuniak and Godfrey just doing a little bit of sparring earlier in the corner. This could be an interesting tussle between those two.
Davis Tope down there as Lunn was on the doorstep, and she was able to cover up and keep that out. You'll see that on the CCM all-out replay. Puck just came out, and sorry, it wasn't Lunn. It was Maltner there, just on the doorstep, trying to shovel in a bouncing puck, but Davis Tope was able to cover that.
Davis Tope doing a good job there. She's recovered her composure. It's difficult as a goalie when you've had a few go past you, but she's managing to do pretty well.
So Mitchell just shovels that deep. Maruniak now for the Rush, has it in the far corner. She just skates out and starts the cycle. This is what's worked very well for the Rush so far, just to break down the defensive structure of the Ducks. But this time the Ducks able to get it out and not able to find that next pass, which just is going to allow the Rush to come right back in. Jakowitz tips that one, so icing will be waved off. First to it will be Barter for the Rush, and she sent that up onto the wall, but a nice pinch there by Braun Cashin, able just to tie that up and shovel that deeper into the offensive zone. Rush able to keep that away from Jakowitz, and a stretch pass now is going to be stolen by Jakowitz, looking for a shot, but the Rush do eventually get it out, and Heather Ryland's forced just to shove it all the way back.
10 seconds now to go on the clock as it just winds down. Ducks just holding the puck behind the on the net, and they rim it around as far as Blondin, who's trying to clear it up the boards, and we're going to get the siren at the end of the first. And the scoreboard says it's been all Adelaide Rush, the lead at the moment to them, 4-0. First goal, Petrowski, and then Tupper with 2, and then Lunn with an unassisted goal with 6 minutes to go. So a pretty good first period there by the Adelaide Rush, in particular. That goal they scored in the first 8 seconds was pretty spectacular and set the Ducks well and truly on their heels. Some things the Ducks will need to do in order to be a bit more competitive. They're going to have to lift the intensity. They have to adjust to the speed that the Rush are playing at, and it's significantly quicker. And you just can't simulate that pace and that intensity in training, and that's what the Ducks are missing out on at the moment. The Rush are hot at the moment. We know they're doing very well in the AWIHL competition. They are currently second on the ladder there, and they're being very, very competitive indeed, as they had a good weekend against the Melbourne Ice last weekend too. So they're absolutely hot, and the Ducks will need to match that intensity. So I'm sure they'll have a good talk about it in the break. We've got a 15-minute break while the ice cut is done, and Anton Goss will be having a quick chat with Jade Davis-Tope in just a second. And we'll have a bit of a chat from the goalie's perspective on what they need to change in the second to give the Rush a bit of a shake-up and see if they can sort out and put some pressure on them as well. They did have a number of opportunities, but we're going over now.
Alrighty, Carl. I'm here with Ducks goaltender Jade Davis-Tope. First game against the Adelaide Rush. They're second on the ladder for the AW, so a really stern test. Probably not the start that the Ducks wanted, right? I think 8 seconds in, first shot, a hell of a snipe. But I think after that, you guys started to settle in and yourself made some really big saves to end that period. What's going through your mind now as a team based on what you've been preparing for to kind of get back into this game?
Well, we know now that we won our last game that we have the legs and the skills to play in the competition against these people. So we have to not let little mistakes and little errors get into our heads and make us think that we're not good enough anymore. Myself, in particular, I can't go, oh my God, I let in the first goal, this game's already over. I just have to save the next one and the next one.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were plenty of times in that game where, or in that period where you guys were able to get it forward, get some shots on. I think you got into a little bit of penalty trouble. They were able to get the power play goal, but there's definitely not being overrun by the team like we saw in the first 4 minutes. For yourself, you mentioned, trying to keep your head in the game. Like, are you thinking now, like, I've let in 4, or are you just thinking about the next puck and trying to give your team a chance to win?
No, it's just every puck, one after the other for me. I leave every last goal behind, get myself into a rhythm, get myself feeling good. And I felt that with probably the last 10 minutes. If I'd let the 4 run away from me, I could have easily been, 8, but I didn't.
Well, it seems like you guys got to stop the Saskatoon native Maya Tupper, the defenseman there. She's got 2 past you so far, but I think you guys definitely have the opportunity. So get in there, work on that. We're looking forward to seeing some more big saves from you in the second and third.
Me too.
Thanks, Jade. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you, Anton, and thank you to Jade Davis-Tope. A tough opening first period for them. Shots on the net was 7 to the Ducks, 18 to the Adelaide Rush, and the Rush living absolutely up to their name so far throughout that first period. We know that that their coach Joe McDougall was pretty good at the fast break when he came over here and played against the Melbourne Ducks men's team for the Pacific a couple of years ago, and we've certainly seen them. And this Adelaide team Rush is very good at the same thing. They get behind you and they come with speed and they have an aggressive deep forecheck and put a lot of pressure, and that's what the Ducks have been just caught out with a little bit. So if they can match that intensity, come out in the second period with just a little bit more sparkle in their legs, then they'll be contenders through the second and third periods of this game. And who knows what will happen. As Anton says, 4 goals is by no means a game-winning score. We've seen the Leafs lead from there before, so who knows what's going to happen. We'll be back with you in 10 minutes for the second period.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet, flex your stick,
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
and feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet, flex your stick.
or put on your pads,
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
on the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
on the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
And welcome back to the iceHQ ice rink here in a reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, where we are being treated to a game in the exhibition series between the Melbourne Ducks and the Adelaide Rush. The Rush on top at the moment after a pretty strong first period, scoring a goal in the first 8 seconds with a really nice one to Megan Pikowski, and then Tupper with 2, and then Jamie Lund finished one off unassisted in the 6 minutes to go. It wasn't all Rush, but it was mostly. They did a pretty good job of getting behind the Ducks a lot. Ducks not quite used to the intensity that the Rush have come out at, and we know they do like to play with a lot of speed. They've been vulnerable a couple of times to them getting to the Ducks getting behind them as well, but mostly it's been speed and aggressive forechecking by the Rush, which has kept the Ducks pinned in their zone for a lot of time, and they're really making Jade Davis-Tope have to work pretty hard. The shots on the net from the first was, and remember this isn't the most valuable statistic of all, but does give you an idea of the flow, 7 for the Ducks, 18 for the Rush. So almost a 3-1 shots on the net to the Rush. The Ducks will need to sort that out. But I think more than anything, Gossie, the Ducks are going to need to lift the intensity. That's the difference between the two teams at the moment. We really want to see a bit more out of Charlotte Godfrey. She's got to just pick it up a little bit. And I think if she can do that and do a bit of leading by example, the other girls will come along with her.
Well, this line has been the most dangerous for the Ducks, but they do trail by 4, and here come the Rush trying to start the way they did in the first period. Puck's deep here. It's on the stick of Wegand, and it's Tahima who's in front of the net, but it's stolen there by Gallagher, but only momentarily. It does come out to Tahima now, but nice back check there by Krulak, able to stop that momentarily, and now she's out. Couldn't chip it forward to Godfrey, and the Rush now send it over in front of the Ducks bench and will just regroup in their own zone. Troppolino just drops that for Tahima. She's had a great game, Tahima.
Good forecheck though by Parrington, just took the puck off her and broke up the breakout.
Yeah, Tahima has 2 assists already tonight. and in that first period, so she's been all over it, and she's got the puck on her stick now for the rush. It's with Sarah Sparrow now of the Ducks, though, as they look to clear that out through the stick of Krulak, and they do, and Parrington has it on her stick, tries to send it across, and does find Godfrey. Godfrey evades Bedell, a nice move, looking for a shooting lane, has it on the backhand, curls around. She's got her teammate calling for it at the point, but eventually gets pinned up there on the wall by Langevin.
Godfrey just took one step too many and was surrounded by 3 red jerseys. No room at all for her to move.
Jasmine Dixon for the Ducks able to stream forward, gets tied up, and now skating out with it is Mitchell here for the rush.
Good bit of zone time at the moment for the Ducks. Puck just came out, so the Ducks offside now.
Yeah, so that's going to allow the rush just a little bit of time for the breakout, but the forecheck now starts, and it's up first, Briar Johnson with a great poke check, but the rush are eventually going to get it out, and that was off the stick of Madeline Langevin. Crawley still offside, so this is going to allow the rush to get out, but a great little start to the period so far if you're a Ducks fan.
It's been an enterprising start. Crawley there just caught out a little bit. She's mostly an inline player, and I think the offside rules are a bit different in inline.
Britt Mendham standing in front of the net, and it's with Briar Johnson. Centers it through the slot and just missed the stick, but Bron Cashin throws it on now, and down is not, and she's able to cover up without her stick. As you see, the knob of her goaltending stick got stuck into the side netting, and Bron Cashin just tried to throw that through the legs, but not able to cover up.
Good sustained pressure there for the Ducks. They managed to regroup and get a bit of forecheck there in on the rush. A little bit of their own medicine so far in the first few moments of this second period.
So face-off tied up there by Cashin. It's going to squirt out to the point and just shoveled forward by Stringer. It's in the slot area. Picked up here by the rush import, Sierra Moroniak, who breaks out. It's from Sturgis, Saskatchewan. She comes in and takes a shot on the puck's loose. Davis Tope has no idea where it is, but Bron Cashin is able to get that to the point, but not out.
Clearing it out there, but finally the puck clears the zone, and that forces the rush to go back and retrieve it.
First to it is the rush defender, and it's on the stick here of Jamie Lunn, who scored unassisted, and she just sends that over to Moroniak, who is doing quite well this season. 3 goals, 2 assists in the AW League. That puck gets centered, and Jade Davis Tope just pushes that into the corner.
Moroniak not afraid to throw a bit of body weight around. She's quite physical and assertive, which is always good to see.
Shot on save there, Davis Tope. It's on the stick now of Ducks player Tara Yates as she tries to clear it, but a good pinch there, and the puck just squirts in front. Shot on, and glove save, Davis Tope, as she shuts the door on Jamie Lunn, looking to add to her goal total.
This Lunn with a nice shot unmarked, with a fair bit of time and space up high. But, now we have an opportunity to see how the Ducks will go with this face-off, and also to see where the rush choose to put their D. Staying fairly high, giving themselves a bit of cover.
Petrowski with a shot. It breaks there for Tehima, and it comes back to the point. Maya Turner able to send that through, and Sharna Godfrey just missed that one. It's going to allow Wegan to pick it up in the near side corner. She's being watched by Carson. Lucy Parrington comes in for support, but Petrovsky, who opened the scoring, now has it on her stick. She walks out of the corner, chips it back. It's now with Mitchell, and she just cycles that down for Tehima. Tehima, 2 assists, gets it back to Wegun, and that just bounced off the heel of her stick and forces the rush back. Krulak is looking on Tupper, and Sharna Godfrey just runs into Tehima, and that's going to force Krulak just to circle back and wait for her teammate to get onside.
I can't help but think a little bit of contact on Godfrey might actually do her some good. Just get a bit of spark into her.
And here's Lucy Parrington. She's into the offensive zone. She's got Godfrey, who just stops up. Tehima's watching her, but Godfrey able to squirt away. But Tupper came in and supported her teammate and got that puck out into the neutral zone. Lucy Parrington just being pushed back. A great forecheck there by Wegun, but Parrington was able to evade it and finally get it out into the neutral zone.
Parrington and Godfrey have been on for a long time. Parrington gets a change. Godfrey's still out on the ice. She's done a long shift.
And here comes Sparrow on the forecheck. She's rushing in on Barter. and Barter wins that out and is able to clear it down the length of the ice, but no ice, as you heard linesman Klink there calling the little touch of the puck.
Ducks get a change that they desperately needed.
Briar Johnson's on the ice here for the Ducks as she tries to keep that away from Madeline Langevin. She's tied up now as Langevin is waiting for some support, but Briar Johnson's just pushing her aside. Puck is loose. In with support is Bedell, but puck not able to get off that wall. It does eventually, and it gets on the rush stick back there to Barter, who just whines and throws it in, and that gets knocked out into the corner. It's Langevin with it now, curling behind the net, has it on her stick. She's got Barter at the point, but gets tied up there nicely by Britt Mendham, and Briar Johnson now will collect it here for the Ducks. Ducks not able to clear the zone, though, as that was a great pinch on the line by Candace Mitchell, and the Rush go for a change, which will allow the Ducks to set up in their zone now. Briar Johnson sent it forward to Crawley, and Johnson now just able to chip it forward, but her line mates are forced to tag up there, and that's going to allow the Rush to come out through Jamie Lund.
Crawley caught out there offside again.
Puck's loose here on the far side, and it's Britt Mendham being rubbed out by the Canadian, and she still has it. So Mendham tries to walk in through the defenseman, and the hand is up, and it looks like it's going to be another penalty against the Ducks, and it's going to go to Britt Mendham as she kind of retaliated there after she felt her stick was held as she tried to crash into the zone.
Yeah, that was a call that could have gone either way.
Petrovsky has it here for the Rush. A pass there in front, save there, Davis Tope. And as Stringer touches up, Davis Tope stops a grade A scoring chance. As you'll see on the CCM all-out replay, the Rush came in and Petrovsky sent that over to Tehima, and Tehima, great player there, not able to get it past Davis Tope.
So a little bit of discussion about exactly why the penalty was handed out the way that it was. We've certainly seen some assertive play there by Maroniak, and she did a pretty good job there of possibly making that look a little bit more than it was.
Yeah, Britt Mendham tried to challenge in through. There seemed to be a stick. I didn't see exactly what happened there, but as you said, could have gone either way. But what we do know is the Rush are on the power play now, and it's on the stick of the girl who opened the scoring, Petrovsky. She's waiting there on the point, looking for the puck. It's chipped down into the far side corner, and Petrovsky there just evades Gallagher. It's brought back to the point now, and the Rush just start the cycle, send it down, and chip it across over to Tiama. Tiama with 2 assists on the game, gets it back, and a shot from the point, blocked by Niamh Gallagher and sent into the corner. Wigund looks to regroup that, and skating to it is Petrovsky. She's stopped up, looked to center the puck. It misses everyone, but Tehima will get there first and get it back to Chen. Chen just looking to keep it away from Parrington, gets it back to Tehima. The Rush doing well to set up, but haven't been able to get a shooting lane. Maybe one here now as it's Glass looking to send it through, but on her stick is Carson looking to send it forward to Sharna Godfrey, but just missed her, but she's in the offensive zone. So Godfrey tied up by Glass, and she wrestles down Glass as she was not happy with a little bit of play there in the corner. And I'll tell you what, Sharna Godfrey, she's going to be going for at least 2 on that play.
I would say there will be a penalty in that one. I'm not sure that we'll see that on the replay, but Godfrey will have a seat.
Yeah, puck went into the corner, and it was Glass tying up Godfrey there. Could have been a couple extra little pushes, but Godfrey took no exception to that, and she was given her marching orders to the penalty box for a rough.
We'll wait to see how long that is for, if it's 2 or more. Glass a little slow to get up. It's an enterprising break there by the Ducks. It was
heads up play by Carson.
It was Carson who broke it out. She intercepted that pass and got it away to Godfrey, who was on the rush. But then Godfrey just got barreled into the corner. So what we were seeing particularly well by the Rush is not only the intensity of their forecheck, but also their rapid defence. They're turning around and getting back very, very quickly. And that's shutting down the opportunities the Ducks are getting. The Ducks, if they try and do it on their own and carry the puck on their own, they're just running into a wall of red, and that's not working for them. So they're going to need to be a little bit more assertive. We've also got a Duck Oh no, not being assisted off the ice there, but one of the trainers just being helped off by Zach Witz.
Good to see Glass up. She's going to the room just to get checked out. As the officials just speak to the captains here about what is transpiring. But it looks like it is going to be 2 minutes for Hook on the rush player, and there's going to be two penalties there to Sharna Godfrey. So we're going to have a 5-on-3 as they both got coincidentals, and Sharna got the extra 2 for the body slam. So with 45 seconds remaining,
Trapolino being brought over for the Hawk.
Yeah, they're gonna have her sit as Glasses in the box in the dressing room, just getting checked out.
We'll get the game underway again very shortly. 11 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the second. The Adelaide team still with a 4-0 lead. It's been a pretty good period so far for the Ducks in terms of keeping everything under control. There's been no scoring, and you've got to look every shift you get on. If you're not scored against, that's a good one. And having a bench penalty as well, being sat by.
Yeah, Sharna Godfrey got 2 minutes, 2 sets of 2 minutes. So Braun Cashin will sit the other penalty, and it will be a 5-on-3 for the Adelaide Rush for 45 seconds before Britt Mendham will be able to join the fray if the Rush don't score first.
What you see when you're watching this is the Ducks will set up with 2 defensive players around about on the hash marks or so, and then probably Lucy Perrington up in the high slot. And they're just going to try and own that particular space of the ice to make sure there's no easy shots taken from there, which gives the Rush plenty of opportunities to take shots from a distance. And if they can get through and try and break up that defensive pattern, then that's when it'll get really dangerous. But the Ducks will look to just try and own that space in front of the slot for the 45 seconds that this penalty will run for, and we'll see how that pans out.
They gave you 2 separate roughing penalties, Sharna.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to sit one. It doesn't make sense.
So we'll have a little bit more discussion with the referees. It's still trying to tidy up exactly what's happened with this, with the penalties, but you can see the Ducks with the 3 players. So it's 3-on-4 at the moment. No, 3-on-5.
Yeah, 5-on-3.
5-on-3, and the Ducks will set up that triangle and try and defend it. So it's an interesting thing with the face-off. It's like, do you actually contest it? And Perrington's going to contest it, but watch, if she doesn't win it, she'll go straight back into that slot position.
So face-off is won by the Rush, and they set up. It's back to Tupper, who's got 2 goals on the game. Gets it through. Nice passing play. A shot on there just goes wide. Davis Tope is down. If the Rush can get it to a player, there's an open net, but Davis Tope regroups. It does come back to Tupper, but a great block there by Ryland. Puck centered, intercepted by Perrington. There's 24 seconds remaining on the Mendham penalty as the Rush get it back to the point there for Chen. Chen with a shot on, save Davis Tope. It goes into the corner and collected there by Langevin. Back to Chen. Chen back to Langevin. Langevin back to Chen, playing a little catch there in the back, and a cross ice pass now. A shot on, and Davis Tope just missed that one, but it missed the net as well. Perrington got there first and clears it, and the first penalty's done. So the Ducks now 5-on-4 as Britt Mendham has joined the Rush.
Ducks did a great job there of killing that 5-on-3. I don't think there were any really good scoring opportunities for the Rush on that play. 5-on-3, you normally expect to get a lot of good ones and usually a goal. But that time around, the Ducks did a great job of controlling
Maya
that
Tupper
space.
has it on her stick as she continues on this 5-on-4, throws it on, and she scores! Maya Tupper, her 3rd goal of the game as she gets the hat trick on the power play to put the Rush up 5-0.
So they didn't score on the 5-on-3, but they did score on the 5-on-4. So it's a bit of discipline issues there for the Ducks. They've got to make sure they stay out of the box. If we give these Adelaide ladies that much room and those opportunities for over sustained periods of time, it's going to go in sooner or later. So yeah, Tupper with 3. I don't think anyone's thrown any hats onto the rink, but they could if they wanted to.
Yeah, well,
we're still discussing what's going on
just
with these
5-on-5. I think what they're just talking about is these 2 players have to sit their full 2 minutes, and then once there's a whistle, they'll be able to go on. So a little bit of back and forth on what's happening, but what we do know is it's a power play goal for the Adelaide Rush, her hat trick goal by Maya Tupper. So she's got 3 goals so far tonight. And she has actually 5 goals so far for the season. So having a little bit of a breakout game today for the Saskatchewan native from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, over in the True North Strong and Free.
Don't try and say that too many times. If you had a few drinks, it's not going to end well.
So the puck is circled in here to the Adelaide zone and trying to get it past, and they do. And here comes the rush, and first to it is Moroniak, who looked to center it, but a poke check there by Davis Hope, and shot on there by Maltner as the leading scorer of the Adelaide Rush adds to their tally as she scores her first of the series and takes this to a 6-0 game with just over 10 minutes remaining in the second period.
So not a good stanza there, last 2 minutes for the Ducks. Just that in particular occasion, it was the classic play of a defensive player pinching up and a forward not covering back and covering for them quick enough. So just not quite enough urgency there for the Ducks. Defence really need to prioritise getting back quickly and covering the slot, and that's just not what happened there. And as a result, 2 on none, and it's good luck scoring, defending against that. Royal Davis-Tope absolutely hung out to dry on that occasion. The Ducks will need to get better at shutting those attacks down.
So this is where character is built. Obviously, the Ducks have dug themselves a bit of a hole, but there's still plenty of hockey to play, and you remember there's another game tomorrow. So let's see if they can string some offense together. Puck sent into the far side. It's collected by the Rush. Centered out into the slot, poked over by Jakowitz, and now collected by Cashin and centered only as far as Tupper. Looking to add to her 3 goals already. Tupper skates through, has it on the forehand, looks to center it, and it squirts through everyone to Petrovsky, and she scores! What a rocket top shelf where you keep the cookies from the kids as Petrovsky adds to her goal total with her second of the game.
So Petrovsky scored the first one, and she's just scored the most recent one. And it's a beautiful piece of play there by the Rush. Just skating around with a little bit too much time and pressure, a little bit too much time and not nearly enough pressure on them. And as a result, pretty good shot under not much pressure at all there for Petrovsky. Sorry, it was Petrovsky who made no mistake at all and found the back of the net. Davis-Tope having to put on her best goldfish mode now. Forget all that and just keep concentrating on the next one. What's done is done. And with 7 goals a lead at the moment with 9 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the second.
Well, there's plenty of hockey left to play. We've got 29 and a half minutes remaining in this game alone. So best just to forget about the score and look about your systems and try to claw a couple back if you're the Ducks.
And also just get more used to matching the intensity of the game. The Rush have come out pretty quick, as we know, and we expected them to. And they're a fair bit faster at the moment than the Ducks. They're still calibrating themselves to the speed. The Rush are coming at the mat. And the intensity
so it's on the stick
well.
of Sharna Godfrey, and you know when she gets a bee in her bonnet, she wants to score. So fresh out of the box, takes a shot, rebound, and they score! Lucy Parrington on cue after a pass from Sharna Godfrey, and the Ducks have got their first of the game, now trailing 7-1.
For those of you listening into this in Adelaide, it's a bit rowdy here at the moment. We were pretty excited when our Ducks put the puck in the net, and the roof is shaking a little bit, or either that or it's the dehumidified tubes, but it's certainly pretty rowdy in here. But that's excited the girls a lot. One of the things that'll do for them is just put a bit more spring in their step. You score one of those goals and you find another 5%, a bit more intensity, a bit more go in you, and to see if that lifts all of the team and evens out this competition a little bit. It's now 7 goals to 1.
They just got to try to get more pucks on the net. I mean, it's their first goal, but they've only had 11 shots in the game so far. And as you said, the crowd was going wild, just what they needed to get right back in this.
Well, the Ducks all standing up on the bench now. They're excited after that one, as well they might.
So the puck's in the Duck zone, though, as the Adelaide Rush try to quiet this crowd. It's Briar Johnson that just sends it over to Britt Mendham, but Jamie Lund just forces Tran back in her zone, and Moroniak now centers it. It's back to Lund as she shot that off the toe of Davis-Tope. Briar Johnson hauled down by Moroniak. No penalty on that one, though, as the Ducks bench asked questions.
Well, we know Moroniak's pretty physical and does like to get in the way. She did that pretty well. She's been pretty successful throughout the game so far.
Here's Maltner. She's the leading scorer of the Adelaide Rush. Hadn't heard much of from her until she scored that goal, but that seemed to have gone to her legs as she skating a bit harder here on a line with Petrovsky here in the second period. Petrovsky, who has 2 goals now, chips it forward to Wigund. It comes onto the stick of Tran as she's forced just to chip that off the wall and out after the good rush there by the Adelaide team. It's Braun Cashin using her size to try to knock Chen off the puck, but Chen able to use her legs, and here she comes with speed on the left wing, cutting through, shot, blocked, rebound there, saved by Davis Tope, and the Ducks collect it now and get it only as far as the point. The rush sent that through, it does squirt out, and it's Chen who's back on it. I wonder if it's any relation to the two Chen boys that played on the Avalanche there.
It would be a hell of a coincidence if they weren't.
But there you go. So puck's behind the net, and Adelaide just looking to institute this great forecheck that's seen them dominate this game, and it's Tiama who gets it back to the point. It's on the stick now with Mitchell, and she just shovels that through, but blocked there by Sparrow, and she has the poise just to wait and send that over to Yates. Yates now skates in. She's got no one, so just tries to chip it to herself, and Braun Cashin now comes out, but that's stolen off her by Petrowski. Sharna Godfrey, who activated the offense on the last one, tries to skate through and just knocks down Mitchell and grabs the puck. Blondin's calling for it, but Godfrey now takes a shot off the skate of the defenseman, and here comes Parrington, who scored the goal, a captain's goal if you must, to get the Ducks excited and get their legs back in the game. Rush just cleared into the neutral zone, and this is what you wanted. As I said, forget about the score line. Just try to play some exciting hockey, and the Ducks definitely increasing the temperature now against this Adelaide Rush team, and it's on the stick of Parrington, who takes a shot, and that's saved by Knott, as she got that with a blocker save.
It was a beautiful shot by Parrington. Went up high, and put the goaltender under a lot of pressure. So fair bit more intensity. Since the Ducks did score that goal, they've just turned up the wick a bit on the fire, and we're seeing a fair bit more heat coming out of it. So we're getting a lot more of a game over the last 5 minutes, which is great to see for hockey fans. It's what we want. It's a good close competition and an even matchup, and certainly the last 5 minutes have shown us that.
What a face-off win by Crawley, and Carson tried to get one through and does a great job to shovel it forward to Crawley, but the Adelaide Rush are out, and just a mispass there, but mishandled by Gallagher, and here comes Bedell. She curls back, sends it to the point. A one-timer deflects just wide. And first to it is going to be Sarah Weiss. She sends it back there. Rachapolino able to keep it in, and off the skate there, and stolen. Weiss forward, and Bedell tried to bat that one out of the air, but missed, and that's going to allow the Ducks to get it. No, they can't, and it's on the stick of the import, Sarah Moroniak, who takes that back and chips it back to Maya Tupper, who has 3 goals already this game, but out comes Mendham. 1-on-3, she's got a lane. Nice stick check there by Lund, forced Mendham into the corner, and now Lund's gonna skate it out. She's got 1 goal so far in this game. Chips it forward to the Sturgis native, to Moroniak, who's in, takes a shot, save Davis Tope, and she covers the rebound as Sierra Moroniak tried to get on the score sheet, but was blocked by the great Jade Davis Tope.
So what we are seeing so much of here, Anton, is the back check of the Rush. When the Ducks are getting through, if they're not clearing out in front, they're being surrounded by a wall of red jerseys, and there's just no really good scoring opportunities. They've got to get those shots away early and get a little bit of support on those breaks if they're going to pay dividends.
Well, the puck's behind the net, and it's on the stick of Julia Tran, who was sending it forward, but that was Narelle Owen, or Abby Vertigan, sorry, who just didn't know where it was for the Ducks, and that's going to allow the Rush to activate this forecheck, and they score. Shot on there, and it goes to Jasmine Chen, and you can see what that means to her. Her first goal for the Adelaide Rush as her team got around her there, and the Rush now up 8-1.
So Chen, one of the Adelaide team's development players. So the way that a lot of the AWIHL teams work is they've got a pool of regular players, and then they've got their development players who are their younger players, and Adelaide have wisely brought some of them over here to give them some go at competition, because they probably don't get much of a run in the AWIHL games themselves, but in this exhibition game there's no points at stake, so they get a chance to have a play, and Chen rewarded there.
And she's wearing a jersey of a pretty special player for the Rush, who is Ferrier, who's their captain, who's not here for the trip. So the puck now on the stick of Dixon, as that goal by Chen just quiets the crowd a little bit after the Ducks had been turning up the heat after they scored their first. Dixon just shovels that forward looking for Godfrey, and there's another one by Chen as she looks to double it up. She's had a great game breaking out from defense, I must admit, there, Jasmine Chen.
She's found a bit of self-belief, which is always a great thing.
So the puck now on the stick of Parrington, gives it up over there for Godfrey. She's being watched by Tihama, but Godfrey just circles back, and Chen shovels it forward over to Sparrow. Ducks now looking to start the offense. It's Sharna Godfrey who just gets tied up with her own player, Parrington, and now Stolen is with gun, and the Rush curl in, take a shot, they score! So just like that, Annika Wegand takes all the wind out of the sails of the Ducks as she scores on a great offensive play in alone on Davis Tope, and the score now 9-1 with 3 minutes remaining in the second.
So there's a little bit of a comedy of errors there by the Ducks. They had a good play in possession, but then I think 3 of them in the end pretty much ended up running into each other, and that created a lot of room behind them, and the Rush needed no second invitation to take advantage of that little play, and made the Ducks pay dearly.
Well, if you're the Melbourne Ducks, maybe you'd ask not to play another game on a Saturday night.
Sundays seem to be a little bit more profitable for them, but I'm not sure that that's the problem. They're adapting to the speed, and that's really what it's about. This Adelaide team is very quick. We know they're hot and fast, and it's the intensity that's doing it. And when you're under a lot of pressure, the decision-making drops a little bit. The only players who are really keeping up with the intensity at the moment for the Ducks, Parrington, who you would expect is no stranger to this level of intensity, and Godfrey.
So tie up there in front of the Adelaide bench. There's just 2.5 minutes remaining in the second period, and we will get to speak to one of the Adelaide Rush players. So we'll see what they have to say playing against what Melbourne hopes to be the second Melbourne team after going up against the Ice last week in the AWIHL. It's on the stick of Briar Johnson now in the near side corner. It's Moroniak now who skates back. She's forced back into the neutral zone by Britt Mendham, and Mendham just able to steal the puck off her now, and the Ducks juggle with it and now do eventually get it out, but Britt Mendham just sends an errant pass, and that will go all the way for icing.
So the Ducks trying to get a sneaky change, but the linesman well and truly onto that and dragging it back, so they'll be stuck out on the ice for the shift. They can't get the change. 1 minute and 57 seconds to go. 9-1 the lead to the Adelaide Rush. And, they've just pretty much outspared and out-intensitied. I'm going to make up a word there for out-intensity the Ducks.
It can become a hockey word, you know? It's one of those words that is only used in hockey, intensity.
Or maybe even just used here and no one else can use it. Probably no one else should.
Well, the intensity of the, I don't know if I used it right, but
that's
the Adelaide Rush, they have that on the half wall now, and just start the cycle. It's back behind for Maltner, and she sends that back to the point. It's Chen who scored that goal, getting it over to Maya Tupper, who's got the hat trick, and she takes a shot and a save there by Davis Tope, and she's down and puts the oven mitts on that one to cover up.
The referee's very quickly to get in, just making sure there's no more escalations. There's been a little bit of fire earlier on in this period, a little bit of a push and shove and an altercation. We saw Godfrey sit to a double two. We're still not quite exactly sure how that panned out. Have to go back and read the rule book on that one.
If you're the Ducks looking at this with 1:30 remaining in the second period and a third period ahead, what do you want? Do you want to score goals?
You want a goal.
Or do you want to just keep this at 9? And really focus on the defensive side of the play?
You'd want to get a goal against them, I think, just to give you a little bit of momentum.
Scores!
That's
so
not
the 9 is no chance. So we're up to 10, and that's a hat-trick goal by Regan Petrosky, the Ohio native from USA, playing for the Adelaide Rush, and they make it 10-1 with 1:17 remaining.
So to answer your question, Gossie, I think they need goals just to try and build a bit of confidence. That 9-goal lead that the Rush has now is going to be pretty much insurmountable. So it's going to be a question now of the Ducks playing in the third, recalibrating, coming out and just trying to pick up their intensity and see if they can match the Rush in the third.
I imagine we see a change in goaltending for the Ducks potentially in the third period, just to give Jade a little bit of a break as they'll want her fit and ready for tomorrow.
So the backup goalie for the Ducks, Genevieve Lunt, who has come up through the beer league here.
And here we go. It's on the stick of Godfrey, who curls in, takes a shot, and a kick save there by Knott. Puck's in the far side corner and kept in there by Krulak as she gets tied up. And Parrington now with a shot and a glove save there by Knott.
Knott made that one look pretty easy, just plucked it out of the sky. And we've got just the 43 seconds to play in the second period. And they face off now for the Ducks in their offensive zone. Can they get another one on the net, or will the Rush do it once more for the sake of the Ducks? Of course, we hope not. But Rush break through, and that is Kate Tima who's got away, gets the pass across, but intercepted by Gallagher, who manages to get a stick in front of it. Joe's in front there, and Tavis Tope makes the save, but can't control it. Second whip in, but it's missed. Now the Ducks just trying to run out the last clock. They've only got 20 seconds to go. Around about this point, they're thinking, let's just get to the end of this period and get in the rooms and have a bit of a reset as there's a battle in on the boards. Trying to get the puck out. Floating around free at the moment for Adelaide there is Candice Mitchell, who's unmarked on the point, but the puck lobs out. And Parrington, Krulak, who lobbed it in the dying seconds of the game. So that finishes the second period. It was one which had a bit of everything. There was a little bit of push and shove, and goals to Tupper, Malthana. I'm not sure if getting that one straight. Petrowski got 2. Parrington with 1 for the Ducks, and Chen with her first goal, which resulted in a lot of Adelaide celebrations, as well it might. And Wiegand got 1, and then Petrowski finished it off with just over a minute to go from Wiegand and Tupper. So a dominant period by the Adelaide Rush. The Ducks caught wanting, and this is what they need. They need that intensity, and they need essentially to consider all of these exhibition games to be opportunities to improve and see if they can get themselves around to the speed. We did see a similar situation the last time the Ducks played, when they had a bit of a caning on the Saturday and came out on the Sunday a different team, and managed to win that one 2-1, so a big defensive improvement. But they've been caught high on a number of occasions and let the rush past them, and we know that's absolutely a characteristic of the game that Joe McDougall plays. We've certainly seen him before. If you give those guys any room, they will get behind you and make you look silly, and that's certainly what's been going on. We're about to get an interview now with a couple of the Adelaide players. I can't recognise them from here. We'll cut over to that in just a second. We'll have a chat to 2 of the Rush players. It looks like we've got Bedell and Tropolino, so we'll cut over to them, and Anton will interview them right now.
Alrighty, Carl, thank you. I'm here with a couple Adelaide Rush up-and-coming stars. I've got Amber Bedell, who some of you guys might remember from the Inferno in the Pro League this past winter, and Marnie Tropolino. So, girls, pretty good game. You guys have had a pretty good start, lots of forechecking. What goes into kind of preparing for a game such as this in an exhibition series?
Pretty much you just got to make sure that you talk to your line mates, make some pre-game plans, and just work hard. So, yeah.
I guess with the way the AW schedule works as well, you're pretty used to playing these back-to-backs. I think you guys were here last week doing it with the Melbourne Ice. So knowing that, this game, you guys are up by 9, things are going well, what goes into making sure you're prepared for tomorrow?
Just lots of recovery, communication with each other, how we're doing, and just keep the ball rolling with the wins and goals and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I guess my other question, I guess for you, Amber, obviously being involved in the Pro League that we had here, how did that help for prepping you for this season?
Well, I mean, I just know a lot of players from other teams, so just knowing how they play and getting the ice time as well was pretty cool.
So obviously up by 10, goal scoring is not really. What's the goal for the third period from you guys to finish this out?
Keep our cool, play the way that we as the Rush play, and just keep pushing hard.
Awesome. Well, thanks, ladies. It's been exciting to see you guys so far in these 2 periods, and we can't wait to see what's ready for the third and tomorrow. Go chat with the coaches.
Thank you. Thanks,
guys.
Thank you, Anton, and thank you also to Marnie and Amber. Great to have a quick chat with them just before we cut to the break. So at the end of the second, shots on the net tells a bit of a story. It's 35 shots on the net to the Rush to 14 for the Ducks. And the score is, as we mentioned earlier, and you can see on the screen now, Ducks 1, Rush 10 with one period to go. So the Ducks will need to reset, and hopefully Davis Tope can get her head around it all, because it's pretty tough on a goalie to get lit up like that. She's played a couple of games here in A grade over the last week or so as well, in our A grade B League, and found that quite an experience too. The A grade boys, it's pretty fast, so she's had a bit of adaptation. But the Ducks will need to recalibrate and see if they can match the intensity consistently. For about 5 minutes in that second period, it was pretty even, but the Ducks couldn't keep it sustained for as long as they needed to. So we'll cut for a break now. We'll be back with you in a little bit over 10 minutes for the third period.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
on the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
flex your stick.
Or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
on the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
flex your stick.
Or put on your pads.
You might not know know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
You play your best.
because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
it's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
And welcome back to the iceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the third period of the first exhibition series between the Melbourne Ducks and the Adelaide Rush. The Rush well in command with a 10-1 lead over the Ducks through a second period, which was almost all Rush. So there was a period of about 5 minutes where the Ducks were keeping up and quite competitive, but towards the end the wheels fell off the Ducks, or I should say their wings were clipped, and the Rush sped past them at 1,000,000 miles an hour on a number of occasions and managed to pour on a lot of goals in the last few minutes of that period. Anton, I think you'll see shots on the net there was 7-17 in the second, 7-18 in the first. So some good goaltending by Jade Davis-Tope, but not enough when you're just being swamped by that many shots. Some of which were very good quality shots from some players getting unmarked. One of them was given away. There was a lot of odd play rushes, and we know that this Adelaide team is that's their game plan, is get behind the other team, and if they're caught up high, and on a number of occasions the Ducks D were, then they're going to get behind you and make you pay.
So you can see we are having the goaltending change, but I was going to mention for the Ducks, so it will be Lunt going in the net. But one of the things which you could say is somewhat of an indictment against the Ducks so far this series is there tends to be a bit of a trend where goals happen in bunches. And you look at tonight's game as well, you see in the first period, there were 2 goals within 40 seconds of each other. There, about with 6 minutes remaining, Tupper and Lund. And then again, to start the second period, there were 4 goals, or 3 goals within 2 minutes. So there's 5.
I just want to bring up Lunt too for you, Gossie, just so that everyone's aware of it. Guinevere Lunt, she came up through the beer league here. She's been playing ice hockey for about 4 years. And I remember when she first started out as a goalie, and it'd be only 3 or 4 years ago. And we all thought that she'd be kind of okay as like a C-grade-ish goalie. And here she is playing, not quite national level, but exhibition here, national level, as an opportunity. Normally the standing goalie would be Taylor Lester, but she's unwell, so Lund has stood up to that. And this is a fantastic opportunity for her to play at this level. And we'll see how she copes, and hopefully she makes a good save and gets ahead in the game. She's a great competitor, and she does play in the B3 Beer League here at iceHQ, and will be tremendous to see how well she goes.
Well, the Ducks just hoping to maybe win a period if you're looking at this part, and I bet that's what Coach Jeremy Muir was just talking about in the room is, hey, listen, the score's a score. Let's just play our hockey and focus on doing things right. And here they are, and it's Godfrey just pushing that forward back to Lund. Another one back to Godfrey. Puck's loose. It bounces, but not able to jump on the rebound, as a nice passing play there between Crawley and Godfrey.
So
it nearly ended up in a goal.
A little bit of a change up of the lines here. They've put Crawley out with Godfrey and Parrington. With Crawley, looks like Crawley's playing centre and Parrington's moved across the wing for this face-off.
With the face-offs that Crawley wins each time, I mean, it makes sense that each time she's on the ice, her teammates start with the puck, and when it's Godfrey and Parrington, those are two that you like to have on their stick. But here's Moroniak, who just gets rubbed out there by Carson. Parrington just shovels that in, and first to it is going to be Godfrey, who gives it over to Crawley, centered it, and it's stolen by Godfrey, back to Crawley. Crawley back to Parrington. Everyone's down, puck's loose in the slot and dumped out by the Rush, but with the fresh ice, that's going to go all the way for icing.
The Rush this time have to go back and play. I've been impressed by the way Moroniak's played, and she's been very physical and she's got away with everything. And that means that she understands the refereeing and how to push the limits, and she's certainly done that very well.
She's
pretty physical.
She's a Canadian from Saskatchewan and plays the style
Yep,
of hockey
plays
that Brian Burke loves. She's truculent.
Yes.
She's truculent out there. Using her frame and just using the body to shield the puck. Hasn't been rewarded on the score sheet, but definitely has done her job to frustrate the Ducks and give her team a chance to score.
And certainly provide enough niggle to put people off the games as well.
So icing is waved off, and first to it is going to be Eleanor Barter. And she just centers it now. Krulak misses that one. Briar Johnson's going to battle up against Maltner, and it's now collected by the Rush and sent through with Jamie Lund pushing forward. She's one-on-one now with Ryland. Crashing the net is Mitchell, and the puck just goes behind the net, and the Ducks now have it on their stick through Mendham.
Ducks a little bit lucky to get away with that.
Mendham hit hard, and she looks skyward, and it will be a penalty going to Annika Wegan, her second penalty of the game, as the Ducks now go to their second power play.
I was just going to say that the Ducks are a little bit lucky to get away with that defensive lapse. They were caught pinching high again, and Lunt got her first look at the puck. It was her first chance to goaltend at this level of competition. And, I reckon she'd have a heart rate of about 1 million just standing there, but she's pretty composed.
I'll tell you what, if I were her, she's yet to face a shot. You want to start to get your first shot a little early, otherwise it starts getting into your head as a goaltender. But Blondin has a bouncing puck, and that shot in. Parrington battles hard. She's got it on her stick. Just changes spots with Crawley as Crawley goes to the front of the net. Parrington with a shot, misses everything, but on the far side half wall, it's going to be Godfrey who's dispossessed. And here comes Petrovsky shorthanded. She's got 3 goals already on the game and sends it over to Tiama. And Tiama sends it through, and there's Lunt's first save at this level. So well done, Genevieve. Here's Parrington on the power play. Her teammates changing. She's got Godfrey, but gets pinned up by Tupper and pushed down. So that'll end the power play for the Ducks. As
Parrington will do 2 for that one.
Parrington's going to go down for a rough as Tupper tied her up, and she took offense to that and just threw Tupper down, and we'll now play some 4-on-4 hockey for 1:17.
And then the Rush will have 45 seconds of power play themselves. And we've seen how effective they can be on that. The Ducks can keep their composure. 4-on-4 opens it up. There's a bit more room on the ice now.
And jumping on the ice here, Jasmine Chen, who scored her first goal of the series, a great young up-and-coming star for the Rush.
We understand she's an under 13.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Skates so well out on the ice. Great hockey family out of South Australia. So 4-on-4 hockey, it's sent deep. Bedell, who's another up-and-coming star who starred in our Pro Winter League here for the girls. She's out on the ice as the Rush send out some of their young stars. Maya sends that in on Lunt, who made another save. The play now with Langevin
just about 40
as the Rush
seconds
just pinned this
4-on-4.
in. So Niamh Gallagher does come out with it for the Ducks as she sent it forward. It does come out, and Bedell just brought that back over the blue line offside. And 3 minutes into the third period, 4-on-4 hockey for another 30, but it's being pretty even back and forth between the Ducks and the Rush so far this period.
It certainly has. I think the Ducks have come out fairly well organised. A little bit of out of positional play in that early parts of the power play between Parrington and Crawley, but they got it sorted out.
Puck shoveled forward and just misses the stick of Ryland. So with another 15 seconds remaining on 4-on-4, the Ducks will be hoping just to advance this puck so that it is deep in the Adelaide zone once they do go on to the power play. But Tahima has it here, assistant captain for the Rush, and she just uses her speed to get around Tran. The penalty is now over to Wegan, so the Rush are 5-on-4 for 40 seconds.
Wise was just caught offside, so the Rush dumped the puck in deep just to organise themselves to get some time.
Ryland just shoveled that forward to Jakowicz. She sent that far side, and deep in the Rush zone is Barter as she looks to break out here on the power play. Knocks off the skate of Jamie Lunn over to Carson there for the Ducks, and she does the smart veteran play to just send that down the length of the ice. With speed is Chen, and you can really see her skating style, a great skater, and now it's with the Canadian, your favorite so far, Moroniak, as the teams go back to 5-on-5. Sparrow for the Ducks just evades Maltner. Curls it back over into the open wing. Carson's going to go to get there first, but a pinch there by Maltner, and it comes out in front, and another save there by Lunt as she gets in on the action. Krulak has it here for the Ducks, not able to get that out as she's squared up, and Maltner now with a shot, saved by Lunt. And the Ducks fans just cheer for her as they know what it means for her to have her first start.
She's come up through a team here called the Big Deals, and she's been great for them.
Well, she's been a big deal tonight, but it's centered in a glove save by Lunt as Georgia Carson gives her a pat on the back. But look at this. What a pass by Jasmine Chen, and the deflection in front by the goal scorer, Petrovsky, who has 3 tonight. And Lunt does a great job just to stretch out and glove save that one.
15 minutes to go in the third. Still the score, 10 goals, 2-1 in favour of the Adelaide Rush.
Pucks now with Turner in front to Tihama, and back to Petrovsky, who's got 3 goals, over to Tihama, who's got 2 assists. Everyone's looking to get on the score sheet. Troppolino, who we spoke to in between the second and third, just shovels that one deep. And Stringer just pins the Rush up here. So we are 5-a-side hockey, although the Rush keeping it deep in the Duck zone, and Sharna Godfrey able just to chip it forward only as far as Turner. Centered there, puck's in the slot area, poked forward by Parrington. Back to Troppolino, who just sends that deep again to start the cycle. Stringer sends that over to an open wing. First to it's Petrovsky, the hat-trick hero so far tonight. Tihama has it, gives it back to the other hat-trick hero, and a shot on by Turner, steered aside by Lunt.
A lot of sustained zone time in this period, but finally it's broken out.
And here it is. It's the captain, Parrington, just takes a shot on, handcuffed there by the goaltender, and Parrington just shoved into the crease, and she gets a couple checks to the back from the goalie.
A little bit of beer league hockey there, everyone falling over.
But here comes Petrovsky the other way. She takes it wide. Weiss crashes the net, but she scores. Petrovsky along the ice scores her 4th goal, and the Ohio native takes the goal-scoring lead of the series off her teammate Tupper with her 4th of the game.
She's got the 4 so far, and Lunt letting the first one through of quite a number of shots. She's been pretty good up till now, but you can't keep them all out. And force a weight of numbers eventually, and I'm pretty sure that one looked like it went 5-hole.
Yeah, goal scorer's goal, 5-hole. I was...
What do you know about goalies? Fast hands and slow feet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was listening to a bit of a podcast from some of the NHL shooters. They were talking about the trend of going low and 5-hole so far in the league, and it was an interesting concept that if you aim for the 5-hole, only one of 2 things can happen.
A rebound,
you either
or a goal.
score or the goalie stops it.
Yep.
It's 1 of 2.
Yep.
Whereas you try to go to some of these corners, the 3rd option and 4th option of missing high or missing wide also comes in. So it looks like Petrovsky knows that, as she's equaled her AW goal scoring number today with 4 past the Ducks netminders, as now the Rush are up 11-1.
Cashin there doing a good job of matching the push and shove. She's been pretty good so far, Bronwyn Cashin.
So that's a battle here right in front of us, and it ends up on the stick of Mitchell. She sends that cross ice over to Lund, who's had a great game so far tonight. She has 1 goal to show for it, but she's been all over the offense. Heather Ryland falls into 4 Rush players, but that's going to allow a streak if they can get it out. But stolen by Malteser. Back to Lund, scores! So just as I said, Jamie Lund having a great game as she scores her 2nd. And the Rush are running away with it now, up by 11.
In that instance, Lunt was kind of stuck. There was 2 players, and you can't watch both of them. The first one that comes in, but you can see she's trying to cover both options. And she's getting the right replay there.
It was a great pass by leading point scorer Maltner.
She was having to cover both options there, Lunt, so always caught in 2 minds, the goalie.
Yeah, but it was a great pass there by Maltner, and the Rush seem to keep on coming here against the Ducks. So Series 1, it was 15-0 up against the Ice on the first Saturday. The second series against the Sirens, it was 14-4 on the Saturday. Let's see where we end up here, 12-1 with 12 minutes remaining.
So I think if you're a Duck player at this point in time, you've got obviously two priorities. One is to keep trying to adjust to the speed of the game and take each shift as it comes. Let's try and match the intensity that the Rush are coming through with, because we know they're pretty fast. And second thing is to try and get some goals on the board and keep the Rush from scoring. It's pretty obvious.
So Crawley won that face-off, and boy, is she good at that. But the Rush did collect it behind the net, and it comes back to Chen, who's added an apple now as well to her goal. Puck comes into the slot area, but Parrington forced that out wide, and now Godfrey does get it out, but just couldn't find the stick of Crawley.
Well, she saw Crawley coming as a passing option, just Crawley wasn't quite going at the speed she expected.
Tupper was looking to get it in, but Parrington forces her back, but it comes right onto the stick of Chen, and here she comes. What a great skater, using her speed on the backhand, shovels it forward, but a save there by Lunt. Puck's behind the net, picked up by Bladell, looking to find Chen, and does. Chen now centers it, but it's intercepted there by Parrington, and now collected by Godfrey as she springs Crawley. Godfrey now breaks it into the offensive zone for the Ducks. She curls in, takes a shot, and a save there by Knott steers that one into the corner. Parrington ties up her man there, and the puck does get to the half wall and just chipped into the neutral zone, but not close enough to a Rush player as Jasmine Dixon able to turn the Ducks the other way.
Just a little bit of indecision there by the Ducks, but as a result for the Rush, though, they did get caught on an icing, so they'll be dragged back and stuck out on the ice for a longer shift. They did try to make a sneaky change, but the refs onto that very quickly. Go off and have a little bit of a rest, and a little bit of jawing going on there by Moroniak towards, I think, maybe Godfrey as they left the ice. Could see some sparks fly there tomorrow.
So Chen has it, just chipped it forward. She was looking for Bedell, but it will go down, but not far enough for icing as Dixon was back there for the Ducks. It's chipped forward to Jakowitz, able to keep it away from Maltner, but goes straight to the Rush defense as they now break the other way. It's chipped forward, Dixon just being watched there by Lund, who's on 2 goals, looking to join the hat trick party that it's been for the Adelaide Rush.
Gallagher finds room to just get the puck out from behind the net, unable to clear it. She's caught high, Gallagher. She needs to get back quickly just to cover up the slot in D.
Maya Tupper's having a game, eh? She's got 5 points tonight. 3 goals and 2 assists.
I think it's pretty fair to say, Gossie, a lot of the Adelaide girls are having a pretty good night.
Yeah. But here they are, they come again, and springing Maltner. She shoots, but a nice kick save there by Lunt, who's able to get paddled down.
Ducks
it's picked up there by Mendham. She's watched by Petrovsky, just chips past Mitchell, who'll look to go D to D, and instead sends it over to Lund. You saw there Krulak just waiting to get on, but Petrovsky, 4 goals already. Wines takes a shot, but that one goes wide as she just missed the target. Tihama, who's also having a great game tonight, 2 assists in the first period, has the puck on her stick, centers it in front. It's at the D there and shoveled forward by Ryland, but the Adelaide Rush now come back the other way. It's Tihama in. Nice job there by Tran just to get it forward for the Ducks, and Britt Mendham eventually clears it out into the neutral zone. It comes to Tupper, who, as we said, has had a big influence on this game. Drops it for Petrovsky, who takes a shot, but that's deflected wide.
It was a beautiful drop pass, creating that little bit of space there for Petrovsky. But didn't quite get the lane they wanted on the shot there.
Briar Johnson couldn't get that one past Tupper, and that's just going to continue this offensive attack here for the Rush, as the Ducks have had trouble getting it out of their zone once the Rush established their forecheck.
Finally do get it out, but hands up for icing, and the Ducks will all be brought back. They're trying to get a change, but sorry, you cannot. It's an icing call. They'll be forced back on. So they'll be pretty tired. They've been out now under a lot of defensive pressure for a good 2 minutes or so. And that's going to make it pretty difficult on them. The Adelaide team can get a change. The Ducks are stuck on the ice. So fresh legs if they want them, Adelaide. Very tired legs for the Ducks. It's also hard too when you're chasing all game.
And it's on the stick of Tupper, who just shoveled that forward, and Lunt is down and covers up. And that'll allow the Ducks to make that much-needed change.
Yeah, good work there by Lunt just to freeze it. It's the right thing to do, is it buys that change. Now they can get the turnover that they needed. The Ducks bring out the Parrington line. And they've got a face-off superstar who wins it again.
And it's now on the stick of Godfrey, who has the assist on the goal today by Lucy Parrington, the only one so far for the Ducks. It's at the point, and a fan on that one was Barter, and that's going to allow the Ducks to go the other way, and Parrington has it on her stick. Crawley and Godfrey go towards the net. Parrington just evades one check and gets it back on the stick, and will look to center it now, but it elects to drop it there for Godfrey.
No D back for the Ducks there. They've committed in deep a lot. Rush get behind them, they're in trouble here.
Nice job by Parrington to keep that in momentarily, but eventually the Rush do get it out, although Weiss wasn't able to handle that pass. Crawley just waits and now skates forward. She's going to drop it for Sparrow. Sparrow shoots, but batted out of the air by young Jasmine Chen, and now she springs Lunn. Lunn with Maltner, but a great job there by Amanda Blondin to stop that, and eventually centered, and down is Lunt as she covers up and waits for the official to blow the whistle.
So great defense there by Blondin, moving back and just covering off the line. And in the end with a good poke check as well.
Dangerous on that when you see on the CCM all-out replay off the skate of Parrington, but luckily on the opposite side of the post.
It's on the outside, it doesn't count. So with 7.5 minutes to play, the Adelaide Rush 12, the Melbourne Ducks 1. Pretty good last couple of minutes of play for both teams.
So with all these changes, we're seeing Krulak playing center now on this second line, and nice job by Briar Johnson to get out and block that shot by Tupper. Tupper has it, and she'll just send it down. It's on the half wall being tied up, and Briar Johnson does get it up to Krulak, and now we'll get it out into the neutral zone.
And Tupper managed to clear it in, but only lifted it into the body of one of the Ducks. And as a result, they did get the breakout, but now the Rush back in.
Now with Krulak, as the Ducks look to exit the zone. Tihama for the Rush just shovels that deep behind the net, and Petrovsky will get there first to start this setup of this forecheck that's been so successful for the Rush so far. Tupper activates off the point, walks in, shoots, and that was a save by Lunt off the blocking arm. It's sent back to the point, and coming over is Mitchell. She sends that deep to Petrovsky. Petrovsky shovels that to Tihama. Tihama back to Tupper. Tupper takes it wide. The Saskatchewan native looked to center it in front, but it was intercepted by Tran and out, and now Krulak's 1-on-2. So Krulak in on Tihama. She just shoots that in, and on the glove of Knott, and she'll cover up, and the ref will blow that one.
If you're wondering why there wasn't a swarm of Ducks going the other way and a great rate of Knotts, it's because they were pretty desperate to get a change. There's an old saying, Gossie, the change is more important than the rush, and the Ducks got that change when they needed it. So they've got fresh legs, relatively speaking. If anyone has fresh legs with 6 minutes to go in the third, it's the people who've been coaching and standing around here watching in the bar. But even the people standing up in the bar have probably got tired legs by now.
Yeah, hard to be on your feet all day.
Oh, it is.
So the stars so far of the game are a couple of these imports. The American Petrovsky from Ohio with 4 goals so far here for the Rush, but also the Canadian Maya Tupper, who's a point-per-game player so far here for the Rush in the AW season, but she's got 5 tonight.
Caught offside there was Kate Tihama. No, sorry, that was Amber Bettle caught offside. Just a tiny bit as Chen was trying to go down the inside.
Haven't seen Diana Glass back on the ice after the tussle with Sharna Godfrey, so hoping she is okay, as she seemed to hit the ice pretty hard. But the score here is 12-1 in favor of the Adelaide Rush, who have just been too good
They're offside.
for the Melbourne Ducks, similar to how they were against the Ice last Sunday.
Wise there caught offside, and the rest of the rush not aware of the fact that she was down right down the far end of the goal line. And so a little bit of pressure relief for the Ducks. They get a change. The rush bring on the speedy line.
Well, when this line's been on the ice, the Ducks have been good. I think it's just trying to match some of those other ones. And there's a shot by Moroniak and another save there by Lunt as she steers that into the netting. But as I was saying, this line, when they've been on the ice, they've been able to match the intensity. But as you go a little bit deeper down in the lineup, I think there's been a couple mismatches. And as I said, goals in bunches for the Adelaide Rush.
Just small lapses in concentration and defensive players getting caught forward in a lot of occasions. And also the Ducks not clearing the puck out of the zone with sufficient urgency.
Ryland takes a tumble in front of the Ducks bench as they holler for a penalty, but
Moroniak
official was
again.
right there. Yeah, the truculent style of Sierra seems to be working. But Godfrey just hits the skate of the linesman. And there again is Moroniak laying the body on Godfrey. Adelaide push forward, and Lunt battles him with Ryland. Maltner tried to center that one, but Crawley will clear it out now for the Ducks.
Crawley manages to free the puck out of the zone. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go now.
Petrovsky winds, takes a fake shot there, and takes a tumble as she skates into Tran, and that's going to allow Lucy Parrington to go the other way. She's stopped up well, though, by Tihama, and coming in now is Ryland does a great job to take the body, and she gets a little cross-check to the back that was missed. And the Rush now go forward, and Lunt makes the big save on the goal scorer, Petrovsky, and that has to be her best of the game. Check this out on the CCM All-Out replay.
Petrovsky was unmarked there in the slot, no one holding a stick up in the air. And Lunt in the right place, a positional save. And, good work, though. I think she'll have a pretty proud of her efforts after today's game. She wouldn't have been expecting to get a go. Probably not even expecting her to get a go yesterday, but here she is, just doing a great job.
Well, she's sitting on 10 saves already here so far, and I forgive you, we have Diana Glass back on the ice, so that's good to see. It comes back to Mitchell, back to Petrovsky, winds, takes a shot, looking for that side net deflection by Tihama. It comes back to Petrovsky. She'll cycle it back down to Tihama, back onto the half wall. Petrovsky centers that, intercepted by Carson, but stolen on the point. Comes in, and Sparrow just chips that to an open wing, and here comes the Ducks through Mendham. Tied up nicely there, and a great back check there from the Rush. Broke up that play there by the Ducks.
Carson with a beautiful read on that pinch. It was risky, but she timed it perfectly. Manages to get the puck as the Rush rim it all the way around, looking for Venus, who goes in, but it's going to end up going for an icing. No? Just wait and work out what that call is. Yeah, it's an icing, sorry. It's being brought all the way back. Didn't look like it came from behind the red line, but that's what must have happened. It was a rim, and so you fire the puck down one side and rim it all the way around the side for one of your forwards racing down the other side of the rink to try and pick it up. Maybe they thought they could get behind Lunt. Sometimes a goalie can get out there and stop and break that play up, but not that time. But it didn't matter because it was icing anyway.
So 3.5 minutes remaining.
Rush a little bit slow to get this change organised.
So it's now here deep in the Rush zone as the defenseman Marnie Trupolino, who we got to chat to in between the second and third, sent that forward over to Tihama. Tihama stops up, being watched well by Blondin, who just matched her speed, and reminder to those young defensemen just to take the body over the puck, and was able to stop the Adelaide Rush there. Blondin again takes the body, and the ongoing pinch of Chen, almost too much for the Ducks, but nice job there by Barter just to get that one deep. Blondin sends it over to an open wing. First to it is Langevin, who gets it back to Chen, who gets a nice job there by Braun Cashin and forces her back.
Cashin with a good forecheck there, just putting pressure on the Rush.
Oh, and Jackowitz.
Stuck offside, Jackowitz there.
Yeah, just overskated the puck there, and unfortunately for Bronwyn Cashin, that puck was just too nice to look at that she had to touch that one a little bit.
You've got to see those opportunities. Something else that the Ducks have been a little bit guilty of in this period is a little bit of waiting for the puck. When it's loose at this level, if you coast up to it and wait for the puck to get to you, it's going to get stolen. So they're going to need to pick up their speed and just get there with a bit more urgency. Yes, they're tired, but that's what they need to do. Everyone's tired now.
So clear out there by the Rush. It's going to go down into the zone, but no icing. And Dixon just mishandles that one. And Moroniak now sends it over to Tupper and sent that one through the crease. It's with Vidal, but a nice defensive play by Niamh Gallagher to lift her stick and just keep that away. Gallagher takes a tumble. Vidal picks that one up and shovels it over to looking for Tupper. Tupper centers, intercepted by Godfrey, and she just takes the open ice back behind her own net, being watched by Langevin. Langevin tried to take the body, but Godfrey sat her down and will now take the space.
The referee getting in the way of the breakout pass there by Godfrey, perhaps unintentional.
There's Weiss just sending that deep, and the Rush go for a change here with under 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Ducks down by 11, 12-1. Shots now up to 50 by the Rush. And Maya Tupper has it on her stick. 5 points so far tonight. It chips out into the high slot area. Tran keeps it away from Lund. It bounces back and now collected by Tran, and Crawley calls for it. Crawley skates forward. She's one-on-one there with Mitchell, and Maya Tupper comes in to support her D partner, and now will look to break that out. Just misses the skating forward there, rushed by Maltner. And now Moroniak just sends that deep into the Duck zone. 1 minute remaining here in the third period. It's Tran with the puck here in the Duck zone, but a pinch by Petrovsky. Puck comes out to Mitchell. She's able to keep that in as Britt Mendham was charging through. Petrovsky walks out of the corner, head up, throws it on, blocking arm save by Lund. She's down and covers up as Lund makes yet another save here in the third period, keeping the Adelaide Rush at bay.
So we're down to around about 30 seconds to go of this game. We're all looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's game is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Summertime. Those of you in Adelaide, half an hour behind, will be at 3:30. Have I got the other way around?
Maybe it's 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. But Britt Mendham just not able to pick that one up. But Briar Johnson gets the loose puck. Bartlett, though, collects now for the Rush as she tries to turn it the other way. Do a lot for the crowd and the spirit here for the Ducks if they could catch one here late. And Briar Johnson storms into the front there, but got separated from the puck. Carson just sent that in. It's 19 seconds remaining here, and Krulak not able to collect it. And now the Adelaide Rush will get the puck out, and it's on the stick of Petrovsky, who's got 4 goals so far this game, and that should be it.
Ducks clear it out into the middle of the neutral zone. One last chance for shots. Are fired. It's a loose bouncing puck. It goes past everyone, and that rings the bell. And we are all done at the end of the third. The final score is 12 goals to 1 in favour of the Adelaide Rush. A great game they played. They showed us exactly what they're good at, which is that fast attack and that sustained forechecking pressure. It's what we saw from the Adelaide Avalanche over here in the Pacific just a couple of years ago, and it's a characteristic of Joe McDougall's game, absolutely, and great to see that he's got his team doing that. We know that the Adelaide Rush, very, very competitive in the AWIHL. They are currently second on the ladder, and they just had a terrific weekend playing against the Melbourne Ice last weekend. So a very impressive display by them indeed, and showing us exactly what they're made of. Great game for Jasmine Chen with her first goal. We do believe that she's an under-13 player, so hardly just a kid, but played very well. Petrowski with the 4. It's a pretty good game for her. I think scoring 4 goals in any game is always pretty exciting. And we'll get that line up now. In terms of shots on the net, we had, let's give you that statistic in just a second, 20 shots to the Ducks, 51 to the Adelaide Rush, including 16 in the third, 18 in the first, and 17 in the second for 7, 7, and 6 for the Ducks. And all these statistics are available on Hockey Site if you want to have a look at them. They're all there. So a pretty good game for the Rush, but for the Melbourne team, another opportunity to just try and adapt to the speed and pace and the intensity. They know what they have to do tomorrow. There's a bit of homework they have to work on. But it's going to be about intensity and making sure that they can match the tempo of the rush, because that's the big difference. It's getting there first and winning those individual battles, and also making sure that your opposition players don't get behind you on the rush. And the Adelaide Rush do like the rush. It's fair to say that's exactly what they do. So we're going to have an interview very shortly when Anton brings that on. But tomorrow's game is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Summertime, 2:30 p.m. for those of you in Adelaide. We'll be bringing it to you again for the second game. And Adelaide people, we do hope that you join us. And again, we are very grateful for the Adelaide Rush coming over here and playing against us on our pond. It's a great opportunity for our Melbourne Ducks to get more time playing at this level, because the only way you can get better at it is to do it. You can simulate it in training, but you never get that level of intensity. And that's we absolutely are very grateful indeed to all of the teams, but in particular this weekend, the Adelaide team, for coming over here and showing us what they've got and giving our girls a chance to match it with them. And tomorrow's a new day. The scoreboard starts fresh, and with a bit of luck, we'll see a closer result. But certainly we'll see a good opportunity for some great hockey to be played by all of the teams as the Ducks are around. A big hand too also, I think, for the Ducks. Jen Lunt, a big step up for her playing at this level. It would have been quite an eye-opener. I don't think she would have expected to get on the ice at all, but she would have been pretty thrilled by it. And well, those girls will go past and stick their tongues out, but it's all funny. But we'll see them tomorrow. Looking very much forward to it, and we'll see how they go when we get our interview from Anton in just a moment. Shana Godfrey, the last one around the line, and we'll see how she goes tomorrow as well, if she can pull up with a bit of fight. She played well, but didn't all work out. But one player in particular, I think, for the Adelaide Rush who was very effective was Sierra Moroniak, particularly good with the niggle and just pushing the edge of the rules. And if you push the edge of the rules and don't push past them, then that's a very effective way to play indeed. And she did that superbly well and put a lot of the Ducks off their game quite effectively. And I'm not going to say got away with anything, but you play to the limits, and that's the rules, and that's the whole point. This is not a non-contact game; it's a non-checking game, and that's a difference which is sometimes lost. But if you can understand how that works and see what's happening with the women's professional league over in the northern hemisphere, in America and Canada at the moment, you can see the level of intensity which is legal within the women's rules, which is the non-checking rule. So amp up the intensity a bit, the physicality goes up, and we see some really good quality hockey, which will show the boys up sometimes indeed as well. So we're just about to cut over to an interview. It looks like Anton has got Briar Johnson, I think, who he's going to have a quick chat with, and then that will wind up our coverage for the day. So just stick with us for another 30 seconds or so while Anton gets Briar all sorted out. And we'll cut over to them right away for an interview with Briar Johnson.
Alrighty, Carl. We're here with Briar Johnson. You know, one of my favorite players on the Ducks. Always good energy. I mean, not the score line that you guys would have wanted, but there were some good things about that game, definitely to take out of. What are you going to take out of tonight, looking for tomorrow?
I think they definitely played the body more than we did, and I think we should definitely use that to our advantage and kind of get them pissed off a bit, maybe. I don't know, but we should use our body more. I definitely think in the communication. I didn't hear much on ice from us. Even me, but I think we should work on the communication as well.
Yeah, definitely. You got to play that truculent hockey. Carl and I were talking about a lot of that on the broadcast. But definitely some of those second or third efforts. I mean, you look at the game, I mean, even that last shift, you had that inspired play up forward, just throwing the body, you're trying to get out there with those extra energies. I think when you're playing against a team that's a little bit bigger, a little bit more sturdy, you need that kind of stuff. But one of the things that we've seen so far is this trend that there's a couple goals that happen kind of back to back. Yeah. What do you guys think you can do to kind of stop some of the bleeding and some of those opportunities?
Maybe just watch the front of the net more. There's a few players that like to hang around there. Maybe just get them out, give them a little push and shove. Should do the trick, but other than that, they have some good shooters, so we got to watch for them as well. Yeah, well, that first goal was amazing. 8 seconds in, quite the snipe. But we're looking forward to Sunday. Traditionally, the Sunday games, you guys tend to bring a little bit of extra fire. So I don't know if it's the eggs and bacon, before the game or what it is, but we look forward to seeing you guys come back tomorrow, and hopefully you can add to your goal and assist so far you've had here for the Ducks. Yeah, all right, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Briar. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you, Anton, and thank you to Briar for giving us that little bit of insight from the inside, which is absolutely right. The Ducks need to play the same level of physicality that the Adelaide team brought over here, and if you're in the slot, expect a rowdy reception, and that's the way. It's always party time in front of the goaltender, and I think something that the Ducks can do better is make sure they start clearing players out. Just reminding them of the fact that if you're going to park yourself in front of our goalie, you're going to know about it. That's hockey, and it's the risk you take. So we're going to wind up the coverage for you now. A great game by the Adelaide Rush against the Melbourne Ducks. Certainly showed us a few things or two which we need to learn and we'll learn from. And we'll be back with you tomorrow for the second and the final of these exhibition series games for the Melbourne Ducks. 3 o'clock tomorrow. I can't wait. Bring it on.